Hello, this is Scott. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where I cover a variety of different data science and analytics topics, everything from open discussions to demonstrations of software. Today we're going to be talking about R in RStudio and continuing on with a little graphical series that we're doing from some data that comes from SARCAR. And so I've done about 4 or 5 videos. This one's actually, I'm calling it 66, I believe. And so I think I started with about 60. Anyway, let's get straight into it. I'm going to first demonstrate, I'm going to demonstrate with this VA deaths data. So if I load that, you can see down here on the bottom, it's rural, there's categories, rural and male, female, and urban male and female. And so the class here is actually matrix class. So this is tabular format. And then if I want to get more information on this particular data set, I can look at it. It's death rates in Virginia, 1940. And so you can get that. You can get that straight from R. I haven't loaded anything, no packages. It comes with R itself. But I'm going to use this library Lattice Extra. And I'm going to do a couple things with, again, with Cleveland plots and dot plots. So I'm using this dot plot method here. And so I'm just going to do a dot plot from the Virginia deaths and then group set to false. And if I do that, I get this plot right here. So for the 4 quadrants, urban and male, urban and female, rural male, and rural female. I don't like this particular plot as much as the one I'm about to show you. And I don't like it because really what this is supposed to categorize is the frequency in these different age groups for these 4 different categories, or combination of categories. So let's look at the next one where here you can see the layout I'm going to use. You can make a screenshot of this and replicate this. So if I execute, I like this a lot better because what happens is your eye is drawn to the length now versus this dot sitting out there, this Cleveland dot plot, where it's just sitting out there hovering. I can actually, my eye is drawn to the length, and then I can categorize the different lengths and see that certainly in age group 70-74, urban males had the highest frequency in Virginia in 1940. Okay, so let's look at a couple of other different varieties of this. So here, let me just go ahead and execute it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to list these lines, and lines is equal to true, and I'm going to set space equal to the right. So what it's going to do is it's going to mark these things off. The different categories now are in colors. So I've got magenta here for rural female. I've got red for urban female, etc. And then you can see the different rates. So certainly males have a higher rate than females. That's something that definitely pops out in this chart. And then going to the next, I can actually create bar charts. This is very similar to the Cleveland dot plot I created just a minute ago. But now we're using bars instead. Okay, so now let's change up things a little bit. I'm going to use this postdoc data now. And so what is the postdoc data? It comes with this Lattice Extra. And you can see its reasons for taking the first postdoctoral appointment, doctorate field. Okay. And so let's get into this. Let's create a bar chart of this. And so again, along the bottom, I'm stretching from 0 to 100%, and I've got the different proportions expected or additional training in this light blue, this magenta, work with specific person, and then the green. So visually you can see in these plots where each category falls. And then we can look at another one where each category is now kind of put in, and we've got the dot plots. Again, I'm not necessarily a big fan of this as much as I am some of these other plots, so I'm just going to move on. This is a little bit better in that your eye is, I guess it's just because it's more terse. I can see the different components for the different fields a little bit better. And certainly across the types, that is one thing that really pops out, is that is expected or additional training. It certainly has the highest frequencies, well above other, and then you can see where everything else falls. And then lastly, if you'll remember, we worked just in the last few sections when we did violin plots, and we did split plots, and we did several different views, and we used this Chem 97 data, which were essentially scores. In fact, if I could just go ahead and put in, you know, the question mark for the Chem, Chem 97. Well, hang on. Or did I execute this? Maybe that was the problem. Not sure why that's not working. Okay. Anyway, I will skip it for sake of time. I'll figure out why that's not working for me right now. But we can go ahead and plot the data. So I'm going to execute these commands. So I'm basically doing the data section, not doing the plotting right now, and then I can come up with frequencies here, and this is the female versus male different categories. Again, I'm not necessarily a big fan of this. I think what we looked at last time with again the violin and the other plots was much more interesting. So anyway, I'll stop there. And I hope you can join me next time as we continue on with lattice, ggplot, and just R in RStudio. Thanks.